culture controls everything. Are we together? You see, we neglect culture a lot. Like, we do neglect culture a lot without understanding and realizing that culture controls everything. If I tell you everything, I mean everything, including your politics, including your lifestyle, including your belief system, including your mindset. Culture controls everything entirely. Are we together? Culture controls your politics. As crazy as it sounds, that's true. Are we together? Your culture controls the politics system. I know you're not seeing this coming, but that's the truth. Are we together? You must believe. I mean, you must agree with me that everything in this life has a foundation. Are we together? A building, just like a building has a foundation. This building right now, there's a foundation. Are we together? So where is the foundation? Down. It started what? It started from down. It started from the beginning. Are we together? So your leaders started from family. They started from the family, then from the family to the community, from the community, social and the system and all that, before they get to wherever they are. Are we together? So the culture and culture is the people's way of life. Are we together? Are we together? Culture. What is culture? Culture is the people's way of life, right? The way we live, the way we dress. Are we together? Good. The food we eat, right? The language, right? How we relate to others. That's culture. Are we together? Listen. Culture is the what? The way of life of a people. Are we together? Culture is the way of life of a people. Right? Good. So if culture is the way of life of a people, that means culture controls everything. Even when you're not saying it. Are we together? The problem is, we're all trying to control and try to change the political systems. Right? We are trying to change the political system. Meanwhile, you are neglecting culture. Right? You are trying to change the political system. You are trying to make the political system a better place. We are trying to make the nation. We are trying to make our nation a better place, right? We are trying to make it a better place without adjusting our culture, without looking into our culture, without making some adjustments in our culture, right? You don't see that. You don't see that coming. Good. So other countries like the Europeans, the Asia, just name it, like the other countries, the Americans and the rest of them. Why are their political system different from ours? It's because their culture is different. Their way of life is different. The foundation. Culture is the foundation. So if you want to change the political system, right, we have to first of all look into our culture, right? Because it starts from the root. It starts from the foundation, right? You cannot start a building from the roof. Who does that? You want to start a building, then you're starting from the roof. Who does that? I've never seen an engineer that wants to start a building and then the engineer decided to start from the roof. What kind of building is that? Right? Your culture, right? Our culture controls the politics, the political systems. It controls everything. It controls how we relate to each other. Are we together? Culture. Right? Culture. You never saw this coming, but that's the truth. Right? As crazy as it sounds, culture controls your political system. Culture. Why is the American politics different? Why is the Asian political system different? Why is the European political system different? It's basically because their culture is different. Their way of life is different. The way they relate with one another is different compared to us. Culture. Culture. There's some culture in our country today, Nigeria, that when you sit down and look into it, you become crazy. Like, you just go insane. Why? Because the culture at that particular tribe, the culture in that particular system is messed up. Right? So when the culture in that particular system is messed up, you don't expect the political system to be organized. You don't expect the political system to be intact. Culture. We get a culture. Your culture controls everything. So if we really want to change the political system, if we really want to make an adjustment in the political system and we want a better Africa, we want a better Nigeria, then we should first of all look into our culture. I am not saying everything in our culture is so bad or is not intact. No, that's what I'm saying, right? But there are some things. Remember, I told you that culture is written, right? Culture is written, right? And can also be rewritten. It's as simple as that, right? You don't expect me to believe, or I don't expect you to believe either, that the way of life in 11s, in the early 11s, early 10s, right? In the 12s, right? In the 1356, 1317, and all that is the same way of life now. No. There were some adjustment, right? Our ancestors passed down some cultures. Then at some point, a particular generation saw that very culture and decided to make an adjustment, right? So if culture can be adjusted to a point, that means we can also adjust it at this time, right? I am not saying everything from the ancestors, everything from our ancestors, the way of life of our ancestors coming down, what they passed down, the kind of cultures that they passed down to this point to us, right? I'm not saying that everything is bad or everything doesn't make sense. No, but at some point, at that point, the way of life, the system at that time, the timing, right? The time at that particular frequency in their own time, right? At that point, that culture was what they can survive, right? Is exactly what they can survive, is what they can deal with at that particular time. Are we together? So they're passing it down to us at this point. There are things that we cannot really survive at this point, right? We're already in the new earth. We're already in the new earth. So there are some cultures that was passed down from our ancestors down to us at this point that is no longer favoring us, that is no longer working, right? I am not saying everything that our ancestors passed down from their time to this point to us, that everything is bad. No, that's what I'm saying. But if we can look into it, right? If we can look into it, so we will understand that some adjustment needs to be done. There are some things there are some cultures that are no longer favoring us that we need to just trash, right? And try to bring up something new, right? By doing that, we are trying to recreate a new system that is going to affect the political system and make the political system a better place. In which, making this political system a better place, we are also making Nigeria and Africa a better place. Are we together? So if really we want to change the political system to be a better place, we must first of all start from the origin, right? Then what is the origin? Where is the origin? The origin is culture. Culture. That's the origin. Are we together? So if culture is the way of life of a people, if culture is the people's way of life, culture controls food, dressing, language, how we relate with one another, how we relate to one another. So that means we can also start adjusting our culture, looking into our culture, right? We can start a building from the roof. Culture.